Hundreds of people out there suddenly retrospectively claiming gazillions from very wealthy ex-husbands.
Lara, thank you very much for your time this morning, and Marilyn Stowe here in the studio with us. Thank you for your time as well. Thank you.
It is 7:43. You're watching Breakfast from BBC News. Our main stories this morning. A British military healthcare worker who has tested positive for Ebola has been airlifted out of Sierra Leone for treatment in London.
Britain's fourth biggest supermarket, Morrison's, has reported a £700 million loss. It will close 23 stores with the loss of 300 jobs.
Time to go to Carol now. She did mention snow earlier on. Morning, Carol.
Good morning. Yes, but the snow is not going to be everywhere, Sal, at all, and it will be fairly transient. This picture actually depicts the weather pretty well for today, because some of us will need our brollies, some of us will have some sunshine, and it will be hazy at times. The reason for all of this is we're hanging on to the tail end of a ridge of high pressure. It will eventually move away, allowing these weather fronts to come in from the west, introducing rain. But you can see from the isobars, once again, it's going to be windy, especially in the west. Windy at the moment across the north coast of Northern Ireland. The strongest winds will transfer towards the Outer Hebrides, where, like yesterday, we could have gusts 60 to 70 miles an hour. But windy across northern England and Scotland, not as windy across England and Wales. Now, after a fairly cloudy start, the cloud's going to break, and for many parts of England in particular, we're looking at a sunny day. High cloud turning the sunshine hazy at times. Brighter skies, East Wales, round towards Gloucestershire. Then we've got the thicker cloud across southwest England and also Wales, producing some showers and some drizzle. Rain getting into the west of Lancashire and Cumbria. Rain across Northern Ireland for much of the day, and that rain crossing Scotland as we go through the day, accompanied by the gusty winds. Now, through the evening and overnight, we start on a dry note in the east, and you can see how the band of rain edges steadily through central parts of the UK, clearing Scotland, Northern Ireland, most of Wales and the southwest. Here there'll be clear skies, meaning there will be some frost around and there'll be the risk of ice. But it looks very much like that rain's not going to get into the far southeast. It's borderline whether it reaches London or not. We don't think at this stage it will. And what it's going to do tomorrow is move a little bit farther west and stagnate in situ. It will be heavy at times. There could even be some hill snow, as Sally alluded to. But on either side of it, there'll be some sunshine. Won't feel particularly warm, but it will be a pleasant enough day. And that leads us into the weekend. And this weekend it is going to feel cold. And that's because we're pulling in this cold easterly wind. And along with it, there'll be a fair bit of cloud. So the brightest skies are always going to be in the shelter in the west. Now, the wind is salient because of the cold direction it's coming from, and it will feel quite bitter down the North Sea coastline. And although you're seeing temperatures here between 5 and 9 Celsius, it's more likely to feel more like 3 or 4. And then as we head on into Sunday, very similar story. Still this keen easterly wind, still making it feel cold and still pulling in all this cloud. So once again, in the shelter in the west is where we're likely to see the brightest of the skies and some sunshine. But at least it will be mostly dry. You might see the odd shower, but that's all, and fairly settled. So all in all, it's not too bad. It could do with being a bit warmer though, couldn't it, Charlie and Sal?
It could. And Carol, we've got some great news for you. We have a world-famous rock star called Brian on the sofa this morning.
Not Mr. Adams. Be still my beating heart.
No, it's not your favourite Brian. It's my favourite Brian. It's Brian Ferry.
Oh,
just thought I'd tease you with that.
Cool as well. Yeah. Good job, Sal. You did. Brian Ferry's very cool as well.
Very cool. Yeah. Carol, we'll see you later on. We'll see Brian Ferry a little later on this morning as well. Right now, though, got to go to Ben because Morrison's figures are out this morning and they've dropped quite a bit.